Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Brady. This is Josh from Be All In Sports. We're back again, breaking down Week 15. I came on the other night and broke down the tonight's action for you. Hope you have seen that video. We've got the My Way Parlay Challenge that I did put out for you, so it's on there. If you haven't seen it, go watch it before this game starts. Like I said, you're probably not going to get those odds now that I had, but you'll get something that's still close, and hopefully we'll get some money if you have to adjust it a little bit. Maybe adjust it for yourself, whatever you're thinking. But we're breaking down the rest of the Week 15 action tonight. We're going to bust right into this sucker and give you all 16 games. We're going to come right close to when this next game is going to be starting here on Thursday night. So, hey, you might get a little bit of a live feel to it as well. And this stuff will be out right after, and you're probably going to see this maybe by halftime. So, spoiler alert. Yeah, so here we go, people. Josh, how you doing, man? What's up?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Happy Week 15, everybody. This is the first week of the fantasy playoffs. For those that play fantasy, I love playing fantasy. Brady used to, but now he is what it is. He is, whatever. I get it. Betting, instant gratification is fun, but season longs are great.
Update. I like money.
Right? Update, I'm in 4 leagues, 2 Superflex Dynasty leagues, which if those out there have never played in those, they're really fun. In 2 redraft leagues. I finished in first place in one of the Dynasty leagues, missed the playoffs in the other one. My 2 redraft leagues, finished in first and second. So I had nothing to play for this week. I'm on bye. They're all 12-team leagues, so I'm on bye this week, which is great. I've never really had that feeling where I have 3 teams that aren't playing in the first round of the playoffs. I just sit back and watch and see what everyone else does, which is awesome. But
round of applause. Yeah. I'm glad you made it.
Hey, man, second year in a row. I've been in these 4 leagues for a long time. Last year I did pretty well too. Made 2 title games, lost them both. This year, trying to get that title again. Brady got one in 2014. Haven't heard the fucking end of it for the last decade. Still don't have mine in our home league, our bigger money league, if you will. Our league of record, the league we first started in with all our friends and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Everybody, good luck in the playoffs. I'm going to sit back and chill and just see what happens this week, which is great, but it's going to be fun. Let's get to these games and see what's going on.
All right. We've got, this first game, going to be a banger. Baltimore Ravens, 8-5, taking on the New York Giants, the New York Super Giants, 2-11. Listen, when I was putting this stuff in, when I saw this money line, I've never seen one like this. I have not seen one. Minus 1,800 money line for the Ravens, plus 900 for the Giants, and we got a monster plus 16, minus 16 spread. Over under is set at 42.5. So here's what Vegas obviously is telling you. Ravens are going to come out and score like 67 points, and the Giants are going to score absolutely nothing.
At least 43 points.
Because honestly, even when I look at these type of spreads in my fight odds, it becomes almost laughable. So for this to be something that is put on the table in NFL, where to me, anything can happen. The Giants are the home team, people. And,
that's actually
weirder shit has taken place. When you have a team like the Giants who are struggling, lost, almost every game this season, at some point you start wondering, is this a little bit too much? And in my opinion, here's what I'm going to tell you. I mean, this is probably, do what you want with this information. I'm not saying this is going to hit, but I can tell you I'm 100% not going to put the Ravens in any type of parlay at minus 1,800.
No.
I don't like a minus 16 or plus 16 spread. I don't like the minus 16 for a Ravens team that at times has had trouble getting rolling. And I think this could be one of those, you overlook a team because you think that you're going to just annihilate them, which you honestly should. You should come out and destroy the Giants. But the betting side of me cannot take anything on the Ravens side. I'm not, unless it's a player prop to where, you think that one player is going to have a better game and going to be the one that goes off, which it's probably going to be Derrick Henry. Yeah. I would, the best knowledge is to put all your coins in on a Derrick Henry prop instead of going one way or the other with this. But why not put a fucking sprinkle in on the Giants at plus 900 money line? Are you kidding me? It's football. This isn't like a single fight here. This is a whole game, and some teams come out flat. It happens. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a bet that I'm planning on winning, but I'm telling you what, plus 900 in a football game is kind of crazy to me. It's a huge spread. I haven't even looked at what the odds on that spread are, but at the same time, I wouldn't feel bad about, you want to take the spread and put it up to like 21. You're probably still getting something good that's parlayable at that point. But, man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I think the Ravens win this game just based on common knowledge of football. Yes, they're a better team. But am I betting the Ravens? No. I'll take a player prop for Derrick Henry. Whatever his yardage is, I'd probably go over. I would look at some of those backups too, because if the Ravens get rolling, they're not just going to waste Derrick Henry and everything he's got to beat a New York Giants team that if they should be able to destroy him like this, why waste everything you have? Yes, he's going to have a good day, but if he destroys them early, over and out, some of those backup running backs, they could be a factor in there as well. So, yeah, going Ravens. I'll put a little sprinkle on that plus 900 money line. Not much, but hey, $5 to pay like another 45, something like that, 50, not bad. That's not terrible. So Ravens, but betting side of me is saying Giants. You? And, let me also mention, I think this over-under 42.5 is I would bet the under on that one for the simple fact that I think the Ravens are going to have to score all the points if they do annihilate them the way Vegas is basically pointing you. So I don't think they're going to score 42 points. I don't think there's a need to do it. And if they're going to kill them this much, then why not just say that they're going to be in 39-0? There you go. What do you say?
I mean, I pretty much agree with you. I don't know if I've ever seen a plus 900 in any sport. I bet.
I've seen it in fighting, sometimes. But even at that point, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, the Ravens have lost some games they shouldn't lose. Raiders at home. I don't know. I mean, in the one saving grace for the Giants is they do have an underrated defense. They are missing some key. They have some injuries to key players on the D-line. I don't know, though. I mean, again, if you want to sprinkle it in, sure, why not? Just to say, screw it, and it's a Hail Mary. Don't plan on winning and don't bet a lot of money on it. But, I mean, again, weird things happen in the NFL. This is one of those games. But overall, I agree with Brady. I don't see where the Giants score points. I mean, Neighbors is beat up. He's going to play. He's still Neighbors, but Drew Lock can't really make an NFL offense functional. So, yeah, I mean, the Ravens win the game. But again, that's a big return. So if you want to put $5 on it and just say, hey, you know what? Why not? Let's see what happens. You're going to get a huge return and win like $50 back. So go for it. But Ravens win. I think the under hits too because they're going to pound them in submission and win 31-3 maybe. So, yeah. On to the next. We spent way too much time in this game, honestly.
I mean, it's kind of interesting just
I
because
know, yeah, it is because of the
I've
big
never seen
spread,
anything
it's
like that.
huge.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean,
that was weird to me. So I definitely had to point
Agreed.
that out.
Agreed.
Yeah,
it
we'll
is
go.
very weird. You don't see that very often.
No.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah. On to the next.
Just to say, you know what, Vegas, you're fucking with us. I'm gonna put $5 on this. You know, the Giants to win. I could say, man, weird things happen, so you never know.
Yep. All right, next game.
All right, so now we're on to the equally depressing New York Jets and Jaguars, both 3-10 records. See the money lines and the spread. One thing I'll say is that Jaguars have been pretty good at home. They did go on the road and beat the Titans, which last week, which nobody saw that happening. I wonder, did the Jets just stay in Florida the whole week instead of going back to New York? You know, coming back from Miami? I would have. Probably better weather. That's all that can be said about this game pretty much. I don't think the Jaguars can beat the Jets. They're both terrible teams. But what kind of world do we live in where Mac Jones can beat Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers just had his first 300-yard game since 2021. 35 games in a row without throwing for 300 yards. Jaguars have no defense. Again, I don't trust Mac Jones to – he'll make some plays and get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. Outside of that, I don't mean there's not really too many redeeming qualities in this game. I would take the Jets, even at a minus 170. Parlay with something else. I feel pretty confident the Jets can beat this. Can beat the Jaguars. As far as the over-under goes, 40.5 seems actually low to me. I think they can get over this. They can probably get to maybe 42 or 43 points, maybe. But neither one of these teams has anything to play for except their draft spot. So kind of stay away from this game. Again, I wouldn't bet it, but if I got to pick it, that's what we're doing. I'll go Jets and Jets, Jets. Why not?
Yeah, I got to go Jets in this one too. I mean, the Jaguars are going to be throwing a lot, I would assume, in this game, just because they don't have anything to play for.
Right.
Neither do the Jets, but you got to think that Aaron Rodgers wants to show something, and they're the better team, plain and simple. Although the Jaguars do have, I like their receivers, not bad over there, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it done against this Jets team. It's not. I don't. That minus 170 for the Jets, I don't think is like the worst parlay piece.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Depending on how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
But to be quite honest with you, I don't even think I like it at that. I don't even think I would just kind of stay away from this one. I am going to go with the Jets in this, but for some reason, I just don't feel very confident about it because when you have a rookie quarterback that wants to come out and win, and I thought I was seeing something ridiculous on his stats from the last game, but he did throw for 220 yards, granted, and they're not afraid to just take the training wheels off and let him throw at this point. So this could be kind of a weird one. And, when you are looking at this as well, and you're looking at both teams, I mean, the Jets are on a terrible losing streak, and it kind of makes you wonder with the Jaguars beating Tennessee last week, are they going to get a little tiny win streak going in the Mac Jones start here just to kind of say, hey,
Well, and also I think back to when the Vikings went to Jacksonville a couple weeks ago. It was 12-7. So actually, I said over. Scratch that. I'll go under in this game. And the Jaguars show some moxie at home. I don't know, but it's not a game I would want to touch. It's not even worth watching, but it's still football. So I'm going to stick with the Jets, though.
Yeah, I'm too unsure of the pick, but I agree with you. I was going to say myself the under 40.5, just because the Jets haven't proven that they can go unleash fury on any team yet.
Yeah, and they're not going to.
At home or going to Jacksonville, I don't see it really happen. I don't see this as the game as being the one that they're going to do that on. So, yeah, I'm picking the Jets, but most confident pick out of these would be the under 40.5, I guess.
Yeah.
But again, staying away from this game. So we'll get on to the next. Yeah, we'll get on to the next one. Hey, but there's a good comment to leave. If you're betting one side of this game or the other, why don't you let us know why?
Yeah.
And also hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're only 2 games deep. This is early in the show. We should definitely do that quick and just get that out of the way. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Let us know. Follow. Give us all your picks on these things. But we'll get on to the next one. All right. Next up, we got the Cowboys 5-8 taking on the Panthers 3-10.
Look at that. The Panthers are favored.
Holy snap. Hold on. That might be a typo.
Is it?
Holy shit. It's not.
I know.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I look at it too. That's not a typo.
Wow. Okay. I thought that was a typo, but holy.
Nope.
Shit. This makes my pick even a little bit better. Okay. Fuck. I looked at that wrong. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So, I tried in this one, and I get it. The running game of the Panthers is their strength, and they've been looking better and better and better here recently. They played with more competence. Bryce Young, can't believe I'm saying this, but he hasn't looked like a high school quarterback.
Nobody can believe they're saying that.
And I'm not saying it has been great, but he's been able to lean on the run game enough, and Hubbard is the real deal. That guy can run, man. Mm-hmm. But look, the Cowboys, I think, are going to be coming back with some fire in this game. You could see it on their faces from the last game. They thought they should have won that game, and to be honest with you, minus a screw up, they should have probably won that game. So at this point, I just have to say that I think they're going to play with a little bit more fire in this one. The one thing that I am wondering is, are they going to even have the people to do it? What's the status of Lamb? Is he going to play? He has been, and he's been on that injury report. This isn't the first week
every week
he's been on it. Yeah, so I'm going to assume that he does play. And Diggs, I think he was close. Did he play last week?
I can't recall, actually.
I'll have to figure out if he played last week, but he's on the questionable. But overall, I'm going to take the Cowboys, and I think they're going to come back and play with some fire. I think you're getting a discount, to be quite honest with you, because they can stop the run, and I think their defense is going to play with a little bit more fire in this one. So they're going to have to rely – the Panthers are going to have to rely a little bit more on Bryce Young, and I don't know. I still don't trust him. I still don't think it's all there. So I'm going to go Cowboys. What do you do?
Well, the Cowboys plus 130 is very intriguing just because they've actually been good on the road even before Prescott got hurt. They've been good. And Bland did come back. He's their playmaker from last year. Dude's legit cornerback. However, I think the Panthers just have a lot of moxie going and a lot of momentum, mojo, if you will. And they've come really close. I mean, they kept it close against the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, who aren't great, but they're good, and the Eagles. So I think what really impressed me was the Panthers were on the road last week and gave the Eagles all they could handle. I think the Panthers win this game. They finally get over the hump and get their 4th win. They've been so close for the last month, basically. They get it done this week because the Cowboys got nothing. They'll do something stupid like they did last week. Block a punt and then touch it and whatever. Hit off a guy's helmet and the guy will catch the ball for an 80-yard. I don't know. something dumb's going to happen. The Cowboys always do it. They'll miss a field goal, some shit. My pick is the Panthers win this game.
Okay. I mean, I understand it, but you and I both know what it takes to bring down an average, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about overall defense. In the last 3 weeks and I at first argued this, saying that it wasn't that big of a factor, but now that I'm seeing it over and over and over again, you've gone from the Dallas Cowboys while Parsons was out, giving up 150, over 150 yards a game on the ground. Now it has gone down to 141, which if you're talking about bringing an average down, that's actually pretty impressive considering that average, that's a season total right there.
Yeah.
They are, I mean, you're talking about going from teams rushing 100 yards or more on you to keeping it under 100 yards. Chase Brown just ran for 58. Before that, it was Washington.
But he had 70-yard receiving, though, so it kind of offsets.
Okay, that's not really, because who the fuck is catching it out of the backfield for the Panthers?
Chuba.
He hasn't caught that many passes. That's like the same thing that we're talking about with Hubbard, or like we were talking about with Kyron Williams.
He's good enough. He'll catch enough. It's going to be close. It's going to be actually this game is going to be fun to watch.
You still got Bryce Young at quarterback.
That is, well, and you also got Cooper Rush on the other side, who was not a first overall pick. So,
now,
I mean,
Bryce Young, if he better fucking learn to run, because hey, you're the only one out of the last three games that anybody has played the Cowboys. No running backs fucking doing it. So
yeah,
hey, Bryce Young, better get your fucking legs going, bitch.
I like the way that he's manipulating the pocket and maneuvering in the pocket. He's shown a lot of growth. So, again,
I don't think he's going to be able to throw.
Yeah.
The only running back that has done well has been the Texans. Mixon in the last 3 games, he had over 100. So if Hubbard can get going, but I think you're talking about a Cowboys team that's going to be fired up, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I don't really buy that. And remember, nowadays, it's not all about rushing yards per se. You can stop the run, great. They gave 60 yards to Chase Brown on the ground. Well, he caught over 60 in passes. So that doesn't really – the short passing game is the extension of the run game. So, yeah, dink and dunk, toss the running back, great. Give it 55 yards rushing. Well, if the guy gets 70 yards receiving, he still lit you up. Chase Brown lit the Cowboys up. And Hubbard just got a $32 million contract, and Brooks is gone. Hubbard's the bell cow. Hubbard's as good as Chase Brown is. He's probably not as explosive, but he's as good. And the Panthers at home, I think they can take this game down. It's going to be close, though. Actually, it'll be a good game to watch for sure, I think. But
if they're going to win, they're definitely going to have to do it at home.
Right? Yeah, they can't do it on the road.
No.
All right.
I don't see it. I think the Cowboys get it, but
you get good odds on the Cowboys too. So I mean, I can see it going either way. I just think the Panthers finally break through and get their win. They've come so close to beating. Yeah.
Well, not really. When you really break it down, they haven't actually gotten anywhere fucking near it. When the totals roll in.
How are you talking? Dude, they lost the Chiefs on a last-second field goal. They took the Buccaneers to overtime.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at – never mind. I was looking at something different.
I was going to say, and then if Xavier Legette doesn't, trip over his own feet and drop that ball at the end of the game against the Eagles, they win that game too. So, yeah, they've been a butt hair away from winning the last 3 weeks against better competition than the Cowboys are.
That's for sure. I mean – They definitely faced the better competition, but again, that expends a lot as far as your team goes. And I think normally I would bet against a team on a 3-game losing streak to end it. I think this is a great money line bet. So I'm definitely gonna take the Cowboys, but we'll
disagree.
next one.
All right, and then on to this one, we have the Commanders 8-5 against the Saints 5-8, flip-flop records in New Orleans. I don't see how the Saints have enough manpower to hang with the Commanders because the Commanders have a lot to play for. The Saints technically are still alive in the playoff hunt, but there's no Derek Carr, there's no Chris Olave, there's no Taysom Hill. MVS is their number one receiver. They still have Kamara, which he's got a lot of tread in his legs right now, a lot of tread in the tire, or not a lot left, I should say, for this year. I mean, he's 29 years old. He has a gazillion touches. I don't see how the Saints can even keep this game relatively competitive with the quarterbacks they're starting. So Commanders all the way, even though it's 380 money line, 7.5 spread. I mean, I don't see how the Saints even score points. Honestly, they don't have it. I mean, their injury report is ridiculous for guys that are not only out for a long time. Carr's probably done for the year, should be. I don't even see how they traded Lattimore to Washington, so they're like their best defenders on their team now. So
smooth move.
Can we call it
he's like hurt all the time?
Is it Marshawn Lattimore revenge game where he gets 2 pick sixes? I don't even know how that's possible. Sure it is.
He ain't gonna know anybody he's playing against because nobody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
Nobody was there when he was. So
yeah.
Again,
this game is
the exact same thing. At first, I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like, this is a good one to take the Saints on, man. Being an and then I'm like, wait,
they're gonna start Spencer Rattler, or I saw his name because I did my research. I don't even know who they're starting at quarterback.
It's got to be Rattler.
It's not Rattler. It's some other guy.
Why aren't they starting Rattler?
I have no idea. It's him or
Hayner?
Huh?
Jake Hayner?
Yeah, that's it. I say Jason Swanson, Samsonite, something. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. They gave up on. They're just saying, "Hey, we quit."
Yeah, we want to get a top 10 pick, and we're out of that running right now, so we need to lose some games.
Yeah, I mean, this to me is kind of one of those. It's laughable. I mean, I thought the same thing. I was like, "Damn, how are they gonna score points?" That was my first thought. I was like, Washington's gonna take command of this game and probably cruise right through them. And this is one of those weird ones that I'd probably be okay with taking a -7.5 spread.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
hope that nothing weird happens and that Washington doesn't get out to an early lead and then play like dipshits in the third and half of the fourth quarter and keep it close.
Yeah, and they're coming off a bye, and Washington's got some talent. You know, Jaden Daniels, we've seen him. Their defense is kind of underrated too. Yeah, they have bad numbers, but I mean, I've watched their games. They're not getting lit up recently. No. Again, coming off bye, I like the Commanders in this game. I don't really think the Saints have much of a chance. It's not.
The Commanders, they're fighting for something. They're going. I mean, a rookie quarterback, he's going to have all the fire out there.
Yeah, this is similar to it's a mini Ravens-Giants game where the Saints are playing second and third string guys, and when their first string guys were starting, their offensive line still couldn't block anybody.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
I mean, like, I don't see how the Saints can keep it competitive. They're at home. That's the plus for them, and it's the NFL. So watch, they win 24-21 somehow because this Jake Hayner guy is the second coming of Archie Manning, or I won't say Drew Brees, but Guy Bear or some shit. I don't know.
I'd be shocked, and honestly, this to me, this is one of those that it's too obvious and it may bite me, but this is a parlay piece. -380.
Yeah.
I would take it as a parlay piece as long as it doesn't get over 420.
Yeah, me too.
I would, I'd feel confident with that because I do think they win this, but at the same point, I would take that spread and put it down to -3.5, and I think you're going to get, but I know you'll get better than -380 for that. So that's what I would do. Take it down to 3.5, 3, 2.5, somewhere in that range, and bet that as a parlay piece, which not quite sure what I would parlay that with just yet, but when we come across it, I'll tell you.
The Giants plus 900.
Yeah, no.
Had to say it. Okay. Enough
All
on this
right.
game.
Yeah, enough on this one. On to the next. All right. Next up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, here's another one we're going to be grueling through, I think. But I don't know. This game might be a little bit better. 5-8 on the Bengals side, 3-10 on the Titans. They did just get a win last week against the ever so dangerous Jaguars.
No, they didn't. They lost that game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck, I was looking at the wrong.
Yeah, they lost that game
the wrong way. Yeah, sorry, I'm tired. Yes, so we got the Bengals. In my opinion, I think they're going to go on a little bit of a run. Not a big one, but I think they're going to win this game. I think in this one, again, I'll have to think a little bit. This might be the other one that I'd kind of feel comfortable taking maybe a stab at putting in with that parlay. Maybe this in Washington. I would kind of look at that. I just think that Joe Burrow, look, every game the guy plays good. He is, and Chase, that motherfucker is bad. He is tearing it up. Every team, every game seems to be his little oyster. So I got to roll with the hot hand here. Plus the luck. I think they got a little bit of fire left in them. Joe just got that Batmobile. You can't get a fucking Batmobile.
$3 million.
Yeah, you can't get a Batmobile and then have a way subpar season. So you at least have to get this to that hopefully 500 mark and not look like you're totally incompetent. You've had a great season, so you deserve the Batmobile, but it's all about wins as a quarterback, and you have to win the game. So everybody else wants to win this game. I think the Bengals want to win this game. T. Higgins is playing for a contract somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's not coming back. He wants to show out. I think this is one of those games. I think they come in and handle business. I know the Titans are not strong in the Bengals' weaknesses. They don't have a running game, and a lot of teams can run on the Bengals. I don't think they're going to be the ones to necessarily be able to do that type of. I don't think they're going to be successful in that range. So it makes them one-sided a little bit in my mind. And even though the Bengals, they don't shut down great teams, but this is not a great team. And I think the Bengals had this one in hand. So that's where I'm going. The over 46.5, even though it's a high score, teams score on the Bengals. Let's be honest. They put up points on the Bengals at times. So I would kind of lean just because the Bengals score, and the Bengals are never safe in a game. And I think I would go the over 46.5 on this one. And I think the Bengals win it.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped.
Well, pass it off.
Did you think I was frozen?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Oh, you froze up.
I did. Yeah, you froze up. Sorry. Yeah, Bengals win this game. I think this game is actually under because the Titans do have a pretty good defense. The Bengals do not.
Against somebody that can't throw.
Well, yeah, and Burrow is legit. I mean, if the Bengals had a defense at all, Burrow would be an MVP candidate. Obviously, he's not because their defense is terrible, which is kind of crazy because they spent a lot of draft capital on their defense. They got players. Makes no sense. The Titans can run the ball a little bit because, Pollard's had a good year for fantasy purposes as well. I just don't – the Bengals have a very slim chance of making the playoffs, and Burrow is Batman, And he's also apparently dating a hot model who, called the cops because his house got broken into during Monday Night Football. He's kind of pissed off about that. I think he's going to come out and light this shit on fire. So the Bengals handle the Titans pretty easily. I don't think the over hits on this game. It's another game where I don't really – it's not something I'll put money on, but the Bengals win the game. I'll just put it that way. And I would go the under.
All right. Go the under. Who now say that again. Whose girlfriend?
So Burrow apparently has been quote unquote engaged to somebody for the whole year, okay? But they haven't been seen in public since January. Okay. And then come to find out during Monday Night Football, somebody broke into his house and some 22-year-old influencer, Instagram model, whatever, called her mom because she was at Joe's house, and the girl's mom called the cops. So it's all coming out now. And if you watch Burrow's press conference, he's like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. He's like, my private life, too much of it is being exposed right now. So, yeah, my house got broken into. Next question. We're on to Cincinnati. Yeah.
Oh, man. Joe's got something in his mind, huh?
So him and his fiance have not been seen since January together.
He's banging a 22-year-old.
And he's only like 20. What is Burrow? 27 or is he 28?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Good for him. I'm just saying, that's the reason you're not getting married.
That's the reason why you're Joe Burrow, Macaulay Culkin lookalike.
That's the reason why you fucking get a Batmobile.
Right. I want a Batmobile, but
because you are Batman.
Right, yeah.
The Dark Knight, baby.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So I think we're both on the Bengals. I feel I'm not saying that it's as surefire as I felt about the Commanders as a parlay piece, but this is the range that I kind of do look for him in. So, hey, I think you can pick a worse team to put in a parlay with the Commanders on this one. So, that might be something to think about. Again, we will get better at coming on and giving a whole more of a betting breakdown perspective where we're giving you those three bets that each of us like on this. But in this in particular, Bengals money line, I think is good for a parlay piece. So yeah, try that with the Commanders. Let's see what we get. If I was to go on DraftKings and I put that exact parlay in, since I'm talking about it so highly, let me just see. Minus 345 right now for it's a minus 118. It's not bad.
That's good.
I feel pretty confident in it.
Yeah,
I would feel extremely confident in something more, maybe like Commanders in a Derrick Henry rushing stat.
Yeah.
But overall, we're both on the Bengals here. Next game.
Yep. All right, so now we're on to the 12-1 Chiefs versus the 3-10 Browns. By the way, Thursday night game started, so if you see Brady and I kind of side note, we're watching the game too. Mm-hmm. We have bets in this game, so obviously we're watching the progress. Here it is. The Chiefs lose this game. You got to love Jameis Winston. YOLO. You only live once. He's going to sling it. He's going to throw 2 picks, most likely. One is probably going to get returned for a touchdown too. But the Chiefs defense has not played well the last month, basically. They did good against Herbert in the Chargers and held them to 17 points. However, the Chargers don't have anybody to throw to. They don't have the talent that the Browns have at receiver. Judy has very much impressed. Tillman should be coming back. Elijah Moore, Njoku. I'm not really concerned about the Browns' running game. They do enough to make it work, but they're going to have Winston drop back 45, 50 times. like he has been, go yard and try to get a win. And I don't think the Chiefs can survive this one. They've been so close to losing so many times. I think it happens this week. I love the Browns and the plus 190. I think that's great. And I would feel even more comfortable with the 4.5 spread, especially Brady loves the ultimate spreads. So bump that up to like 7 or even 8. Browns cover the spread at 8, definitely. They win this game. This is my hair lock pick of the week. I don't have any hair anymore. But if the Browns lose, Brady's going to shave his head.
My turn?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to possibly be first to get to this one, but yeah, I had it picked.
Did I beat you?
I was, all over it as soon as I saw it. Listen, it's not going against you Chiefs fans because
no,
I'm telling you right now, you don't want, you especially do not want your fucking team going in on a 14, 15 game winning streak because trust me, if you do that, you probably fucked in the first game. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. You will lose. That third championship, you're not going to get it if you go in that way. I'm telling you right now, teams don't fucking do it. It doesn't happen. And we're going to get to something else later on in this. But yes, 100% Browns. And I'm hopeful for you Kansas City Chiefs fans because you don't know this. If you don't know this, trust me, you shouldn't go in winning every single game the way you've been toenailing every single game.
That doesn't happen.
That shit. Right. Don't do that shit, and don't think it's a good thing if you do that shit because it's a very, very, very evil and bad thing, and you will get fucked because of that evil bad thing. So I'm telling you right now, this is the game that you lose, and you better hope and pray that you do lose it because if you don't lose this game, let me just look at your upcoming schedule because you have literally been winning games all season long by the hair of your chinny chin chin. And you need to lose 3 of these things. You honestly need to lose 3 of these things. Or 4. Don't even be upset if you lose 4. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Who gives a fuck if you can't, what, are you afraid of going out of town on the road? Are you afraid of it? Get over it. You're going to have to do that shit sometimes. It's the way it is. I'm just saying you shouldn't lose your division. You honestly shouldn't.
They already won it. They already won it.
Yeah, you're not going to – I'm talking the conference.
Yeah,
okay. I don't think you're going to lose the conference unless you go on a major losing path here. But I will say 12-2 at this point would look really good for you.
Yeah, still does. Right.
Yeah, and go in with 3 losses. You may lose to the Steelers at home on their turf. That one I could see a definite possibility there. You've got some – and you're always susceptible to, the Broncos, I guess. But I don't see it this time again. I don't know. Call me crazy. I think you can get that one done. So I think you need to lose this game. I am picking the Browns as well.
Yep.
I think they get it done. I think Jameis Winston has nothing to lose. I mean, hell.
He doesn't.
At this point, he puts a couple more games together. He might get more money out of it.
Yeah,
somewhere else. Who knows?
Exactly. And the Browns have proven since Chubb can't run the ball. They can't run the ball.
Mm-mm.
They'll try to, here and there. They're just, hey, Jameis, just throw the ball. Let's see what happens. That's their offense.
Yep.
And guess what? It's worked out pretty handily. The Browns have been competitive. They scored points. They beat the Steelers. They probably should have beat the Broncos. Don't know how they didn't do that, but they probably should have. They win this game.
I agree. I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be a miraculous thing by the Browns,
especially at home too. The home thing. We said it. A month and a half ago against the Ravens. The Ravens were killing everybody. They go to Cleveland. Said Cleveland's going to cover the spread and probably win the game. They did. in
And
Cleveland.
it's not like the Chiefs are bad on the road. For God's sake, they're 5-1.
No, they're not bad at all. They're great. I mean, the Chiefs win, but also the Chiefs kicker. The kicker ding-dongs a division-winning kick from, I don't know, was it 25 yards, whatever it was?
That's what I'm saying.
Yards?
You better start putting it together in a different fashion, because you're like doing this every week is not gonna, like, that's a bad recipe when you got teams.
Yep.
And I've thought for years the AFC is the strongest conference, but now I'm starting to think the way that the Lions have been beating ass over there.
Right.
I mean, that's impressive.
Hey, the one thing I'll say is the reason why. So everybody like, oh, the Chiefs got Hopkins, they're going to unleash him. No, they're not. They're waiting, because if you read the semantics, the specifics of the trade for Hopkins, if he plays over 60% or 70% of the offensive plays, then the Titans get a better draft pick. So the Chiefs aren't going to do that in the regular season. So they sprinkle him out there when they feel they really need him, and he makes a catch here and there, blah, blah, to win the game or get him in position. So the Chiefs are going to morph into a better offense as the year goes on. I know you say, well, it's week 15. Well, they don't need him right now because they're 12-1, and they got a 2-game lead on the conference number 1 seed. Very true. Once they get to the playoffs, they're going to unleash D-Hop, because that's not going to matter.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, okay, dude, now you're going to play 90% of the snaps.
And they want to keep him healthy to get there.
Exactly. Yes. Right.
Yeah. It's a smart thing. And like I said, I don't think you're in danger of losing the conference. I think you're still going to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
But I think you had probably better pray for another loss to come your way.
I would.
I would pray for 2 of them. And I think this would be one that I would pray for.
Agreed. Because tell me this, how many 1-loss teams have won the Super Bowl?
Exactly.
I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And another thing, in my opinion, you need to lose to a team like the Browns.
Exactly.
Because if you honestly, this is me mentally thinking this, if I go in these next few games, so let's see, you've got, damn it, I had that pulled up, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God, what a catch by Nakua there. Are you seeing this?
No, I missed it. I'm looking up stats here so I can give them out.
He just caught the ball on the helmet of the defender.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay,
amazing.
So coming up, you have the Browns, you have the Texans, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So you, in my opinion,
2 of those games,
you're better off losing to a team like either the Broncos or the Browns, because it's not going to diminish your confidence very much if you lose a team like that, because you can think in the back of your mind, we're way better than this team.
Yeah,
they had a good night. We had an off night. And you can justify it like that. If you lose to a team like the Steelers and you lose to a team like the Texans, who are in your conference and they're both viable playoff contenders, that can have you possibly questioning some stuff when you get further down into the playoffs.
Right.
I think Stafford thinks that he plays for the 49ers right now.
He should have already thrown 2 picks.
He's literally almost throwing it directly to them.
He just did. Dude dropped it. Watch this.
A lot of passes here. A lot of passes are going to the other team.
Yeah, this is why this guy's not a receiver.
I mean, what the fuck?
That was right too. That was right in the numbers.
But why? How did you pick him?
Look at that. How do you drop that?
How did you pick to throw it to him?
I don't know. But anyway,
all right.
Browns win this game. Let's go on to the next.
All right. Wow. Next up, the Miami Dolphins taking on the Houston Texans. Texans 8-5, Dolphins 6-7, plus 135 on the money line for the Dolphins, minus 155 for the Texans, plus 3 spread for the Dolphins. Over under is 46.5. Man, I don't know. Just because the Dolphins don't tend to play good teams very well, and being on the road, they don't seem like a good decision to trust them to get this done. I think the Texans, unless unless these injuries that I'm seeing, play maybe a bigger factor in this one. But this is a game that I feel pretty strongly about the Texans getting it done. I mean, they're 4-2 at home, and the Dolphins 2-4 away. So they just don't play very good on the road, and it's when you're talking about a team like the Texans, they're playing for a little bit more. I think you're playing with a little bit more confidence, and you need to win. You need these wins, and especially a game like this one. To me, you're going to be able to run the ball, in my opinion. If Mixon's good to go, which I don't see him on the injury report. It looks like some of these players actually got taken off that I thought were on there. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I think they get rolling. I think this is a good home win for them to have against a team that just doesn't play very well on the road. They don't play very well, period, against good teams. The Texans are a good team. They're a winning team, and the Dolphins just don't do it against winning teams. So that's going to be my pick. But they both do score some points. And I think this could be one of those games that both teams can put up some points, actually. So I think the over 46.5, I would probably go with the over 46.5 in this one. But yeah, I'm going to take the Texans to get this one done at home. What do you think?
This is a tough one, man, because again, like the Dolphins do not beat winning teams or teams with winning records, I should say. But the Texans have been, I don't know, man. They've been so hit or miss this year. Nico is back. They're killing it. I love the over in this game. That'd be my pick, is the over, definitely. Because it seems like the Dolphins are finally realizing they have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle again. And A-Chain's killing it, Jonnu Smith. So my favorite bet in this game is the over. And believe it or not, the Texans are going to win this division no matter what they do. Because obviously the Jaguars and the Titans aren't going to do it. The Colts aren't going to do it either. And I think the way Tua's been playing the last couple of weeks, the Dolphins have found their mojo. I love the over, and I'm going to go Dolphins. Plus 135. The Texans are not world beaters. They can be beaten. They have serious issues. Their offensive line's terrible. Believe it or not, Mixon still runs the ball and gets his yards and his points. So he's still good at that. Their defense is solid too. But I think the Dolphins, I think Tua finally gets over the hump and beats a team with a winning record, because the Texans are just very susceptible. And overall, the Dolphins I like their talent on offense better than the Texans. And I think the Dolphins pull it off, especially to plus 135. I love that line. But, I mean, the biggest bet in the game is definitely over.
Okay. The one thing that I will say, it's almost the opposite of a bend don't break offense as far as passing yards go, because the Texans don't give up many yards, but they give up a lot of touchdown passes. And I think This is the game that Tua's gonna be able to score. But at the same time, the Dolphins do the same shit.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. Nico and Tyreek Hill, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they both catch 50-plus yard touchdowns this game. It's been a long time since Tyree has caught one. I think his wrist is finally getting better. That's why last game they got him way more involved. His wrist, whatever injury he had, is healing. And Nico is a game changer. So I think both those receivers go off. Offensive fireworks. I mean, like a 31-28 game. They blow past this over-under to me. They blow past the over by far. And I think the Dolphins end up pulling it out.
It's not impossible for me to see that happening, honestly, because the Texans, like I said, they do give up a lot of touchdowns, but they don't give up a lot of yards. So
it's true.
And the Dolphins, it's like they're kind of weird sometimes with their run. It's like they're stingy with using it. And they keep passing and passing and passing. And the way
the team catches like 7 balls a game, 6 balls a game. So in his game,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's the more successful way to get the ball down the field. If you're going to use your run game and get the ball down the field and then use your pass game the way you should, that other teams have obviously been using it, then maybe. Right. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. McDaniel always can be a wild card, so I think I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Texans, but I think that over 46 is good, 46.5.
Agreed.
All right. We'll move on to the next game. What was the score? I didn't even see the score.
It's still 3-0.
Okay. All right. On to the next.
Okay, so the next game is going to be Brady's Indianapolis Colts at 6-7 versus Brady's current living town of the Denver Broncos, 8-5. Minus 200 for the Broncos. I just think the Broncos are a better team overall. Way more. The Colts have a lot to play for too. The Broncos are definitely in the wild card hunt and ahead of the Colts, obviously. So the Broncos win this game. They're just a better team. I think they're better coached. Anthony Richardson really can't throw the ball. We've seen this. He's not Jameis Winston, so he's not gonna flick. He ain't throwing it 55 times. He'd be lucky to throw it 30 times and complete 12 of them. So I'm thinking Broncos all the way. I would go the under in this game too at 43.5. I don't think the Colts are going to be able to score points against the Broncos defense. I think whatever happened last week with the Broncos is what it is. That's not going to happen again. The Broncos definitely win this game. And under 43.5 points. What about you?
I mean, as bad as I want to pick the Colts, I have to put these picks out there realistically. And yeah, the Anthony Richardson just doesn't do good against good defenses, period.
No.
The teams that he's beating,
he can't throw the ball.
No, he can't. I mean, I watch him a lot, and he is very, very unseasoned, to say it mildly, I guess. He just
that's saying it nicely.
Yeah, it's very nice. He's
unseasoned. Yeah, that's for sure.
He's inaccurate, and he still makes bad decisions. And this is a defense that will exploit bad decisions. And the only way they're going to run, or the only way they're going to win, is if he's running. If he's running,
right,
and combining that with a little bit more Jonathan Taylor, whether it's if you're going to dump it off or whether you're, going to just like run it down their throats. I don't see a way that. I'm on the same page though. The Colts just don't score enough points.
No,
and the Broncos are good at holding good teams. So I would not call the Colts a good team yet. And Anthony Richardson is not
a good quarterback.
No, he isn't. He's not accurate enough. He can throw it.
He's a great athlete.
He can bomb.
He's not a good quarterback.
No, and the way that he has to win is with his feet. He has to be able to be that dual threat. He has to be able to run and pass. And right now, he can run, but he doesn't do it enough. And the passing is very subpar.
Yeah.
So I gotta say too that under 43.5, although I am kind of hesitant in a way, just because the Broncos can at times put up some points, and if they I don't know who's going to be the running back out of the 12 that Peyton. That's another thing. Here's one thing that I am going to say about this shit.
He called me today and asked if I want to come take some carries. I said no, I'm busy.
Kind of decided I don't like him very much.
Right.
I'm going to be quite honest. I think he's kind of an arrogant asshole. That's just outside looking in. the arrogance is overreigning, and I am not a Sean Payton fan. I think he had a really good quarterback. I think he had a better quarterback than he has now, but he shit all over him. And how you couldn't figure out a way to use him when you're used to short quarterbacks is beyond me.
Right. All right.
Who can actually move in the pocket? You just didn't like him. Let's put it that way. Plain and simple, I think you had a better quarterback than you have right now. You fucked that up, and I don't know what the deal is with him, but this whole like running situation that he's got with me, it pisses me off from last week. You also have a running back there that's better than the one you're currently using, dipshit. If you just give him the ball maybe more than 2 carries to get started, you might see that. But you know what? That's what arrogance does to you. I don't know. I don't like this pick. Pisses me off a little bit. The battle of the ponies, my pony's going to fucking lose, all right? So forgive me. I don't care where I live. This is not my team.
Because the Broncos are going to beat the mini Colts.
Right.
The mini horses.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. So, yeah, I'm picking the Broncos unfavorably. I don't like it.
Right.
But there it is. Pick the Broncos. Okay. Probably feel confident if you want to put it in your parlays. It's probably a pretty good pick.
All right.
Have fun. Have fun.
Ding! On to the next.
All right. Next up, New England Patriots 3-10 at the Arizona Cardinals 6-7. Over under 46.5. Minus 260 money line for Cardinals. Plus 215 for the Patriots. Spreads at plus 6 for the Patriots. Minus 6 on the Cardinals side. I like the Cardinals in this game. I think the Patriots give up too much. They'll give up too much through the air. I think the Cardinals are going to be able to – honestly, I think the Cardinals are going to be able to do whatever they want. The one thing that I'm questioning is McBride might be out, but in this game I don't think it's really going to matter. I've told you all season how I feel about the Patriots, and nothing's really pointing me in the other direction. I think Drake May is showing promise as a quarterback and getting better, but he's not going to do it by himself, and he's going to have to. This team, I think the Cardinals score too much. I think they'll be able to, like I said, do whatever they want. The Patriots give up a lot of rushing yards. They give up over 215 a game through the air, but again, I think this is one of those that I feel pretty comfortable betting the Cardinals, especially I believe I looked at they were on a 3-game losing streak right now. They're needing to win. They want to stay in the hunt here. So, yeah, going Cardinals on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, me too. The Cardinals defense has been really good recently. They've just been losing games. Lost twice as the Seahawks. How that happens, I don't know. I mean, the Seahawks are good for sure. The Patriots, yeah, they don't. Who's Drake May throwing the ball to? I mean, they're keeping games competitive somehow, some way. But yeah, the Cardinals win this game. I'm not really confident in anything in this game. The over/under to me seems a little high. I wouldn't touch that. I would just bet the Cardinals to win the game, honestly. 260 on the money line. I don't even like the spread. 6 points, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Do alternate spread on that. Cardinals win the game, though, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't see a different outcome on this one.
It's in Arizona, too, so they usually play good at home. So I would just say, like, hey, man, the Cardinals need to win. They're in the playoff hunt. They've lost some close games recently. Let's just put them in the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think it's one of those kind of safer, easier to make safe picks in a way. I mean, the Patriots, just to give you numbers here to back it up, they've given up 11 rushing touchdowns, 124 yards in a game.
Here is your reminder from Stacy.
They've given up 22 passing touchdowns and 215 a game. So recipes for disaster when you're facing a team that has good – Connor's due for another good game. He's been having shitty games.
Agreed.
So this is a game that they can pick it up and they can give it to him repeatedly. And
Yeah.
I think he'll do well in this game. And yeah, Cardinals should get this done.
Agreed.
Next.
All right, so now we have the game of the week. The 3:25 Central Time, that's where I'm at. Afternoon game. Ooh, could it be the Super Bowl preview? I think a lot of America is hoping it is. I know I kind of am, not going to lie. The 10-3 Bills, the 12-1 Lions. In Detroit, minus 145 for the Lions, plus 125 for the Bills. Man, this game is going to be awesome. This is the game of the week. Might be the game of the year. For real.
It's a lot to live up to.
What?
That's a lot to live up to.
Oh, yeah, it is. But both these teams are solid. I mean, you got MVP candidate with, Josh Allen. I think my money is the Bills win this game. We've been saying for a long time, same with the Chiefs, 12-1, 12-1. You're not going to win every game. You're just not. It's not going to happen. Every team's going to lose 2 or 3 games. The Lions have won some close ones. Yeah, they've been dominant. I think the Bills pull this off. I love the Bills' money line in this game. The spread's okay. I get it. I think the Bills go in. They lost a tough game last week. I mean, Josh Allen had – do you know this, Brady, that Josh Allen set the record for most fantasy points ever in a game by a quarterback last week?
I think I did hear that, yeah.
Yeah, 51 points. He's the first player ever to have 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in the same game.
That was the stat.
And they still lost. Don't. That's brutal.
That is a kick in the nuts.
That is brutal. But they were very close to winning. It's a tough man, after that game going, to LA, then losing that tough game, then coming back and having to go to face a better team in Detroit, I still think the Bills win this game because the Lions are due for a loss, just like the Chiefs are. We talked about that with the Browns game, the Chiefs and the Browns. The Lions are due for a loss. You're going to lose some games. And when the Bills come calling to town, I can't believe that the Bills lost last week, to be honest with you. I figured they'd keep it close, the Rams would, but the Bills would pull it out. They didn't. This week, the Bills somehow, some way, find a way to pull it out. It's going to be close. The over-under, man, 54.5. I read that's the highest over-under on the year for any game. That's a lot. I mean, I can see it going the over. I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole, though. Because when you think, 2 awesome offenses, blah, blah, and the next thing you know, it's 21-17. So I wouldn't touch that. My bet in this game, Bills money line. I definitely picked the Bills to win this game. For a Super Bowl preview, I'll leave my pick for the Super Bowl for a later time, but I think the Bills win this game.
Yeah, this is one of those that I just talked about it for Chiefs fans, and I'm obviously a Lions fan.
Same thing with Lions, yeah. Yep.
This is the game that, again, this can go one of 2 ways. Here's the way I see this. Yes, I do think this definitely could be a Super Bowl preview right here. And in that case, I want the Bills to win even more because I don't think it diminishes your confidence because you're losing to the other possible Super Bowl contender. It'd be no different than losing to the Chiefs. And I don't think you discredit yourself necessarily. What I'm saying is that you don't want to win to a mid or low tier high team, like somebody that's got 9-10 wins, but they don't have what the Bills, what you see in the Bills. It's not one of those types of seasons. So in this range, I'm hoping for a Lions loss this week. I don't want to see my team go in on some huge major winning streak. And I think it would be even better if they do lose it at home, because that's where they're better. And I think that if by chance they get that home field advantage, which they could very well get that, and if they're playing at home and then they're winning out throughout, because they do play good at home, and we know that that's where they would obviously prefer. So once you get to the playoffs, it's anybody's ball, or once you get to the Super Bowl, it would be anybody's ball game at that point. Yeah. That's neutral ground. And then I even like the advantage of the team that beat you first this year. I think that carries momentum over later, and it's hard to beat a team twice. So I would feel even better about the Lions later on. So Detroit, feel free to play like shit. Or not too shitty. I want you to score. Right. I want it to be a competitive game. I want to watch something fun.
Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. This can be the game that I wouldn't be disappointed if it was 17-10 or 21-17, something along those lines. I do think too that's a high over under. I get it. I get why they're putting it up there, but
way up there.
Again, I'll pick the under, but watch it go way over, and it'll make it all look stupid. And these teams are very, very capable of doing that exact thing to each other. The only thing is Detroit is very, very good against the run. But factor in the fact that Josh Allen can use his feet very well. So I don't know. You have to take factors like that into account when they've got like a dual option out there that can go either way. So yeah, my pick 2 is the Buffalo Bills plus 125 on the money line. I think it's a good single play right there. And again, the Lions, you've won a lot of games in a row. It's time to cut it back a little bit. It's time to pull the reins back. Lose one. We all need it. We all want it. You can't go in like on this tear that you're on. It's not going to play well. I'll say the same thing for you that I said about Kansas City. So that's my pick 2. Yeah, Bills.
Agreed, man. And so the plus 125 money line, like I was saying, with parlaying that shit, put it with the Commanders or, a couple other teams we talked about, the Bengals. And you're going to get great odds on that. You get really good odds on that. So do that. Yeah, I think the Bills win this game. And we'll hold the other prediction off for another time. Let's see what happens, though. I cannot wait to watch this game. This is one of the best games of the year.
Yep. I agree. It should be a good one. All right. We're both on the Bills. Hopefully they get this one done and put my mind at ease about this going in on a winning streak shit, because I don't like it.
Right.
On to the next. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-6, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers 8-5. Minus 150 on the money line for the Chargers, plus 130 for the Bucs, plus 3 spread for the Bucs. Over under is 45.5. Quick pick right here, Chargers. I like him to get this one done. I don't know. There's something that's telling me this is just not going to be the Bucs week. I don't really have a great honest why I'm picking this, because I think it's just more for the simple fact that I feel like even though the Chargers are a little banged up right now, dealing with some injuries there, this could all reverse. Now, if Justin Herbert is not in the game, if he's not going to play, which he was just limited, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he will play.
Things are right.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. So, and McConkey might be back for this one. Yeah. Not positive yet, but he was limited in practice as well. I think this is a game that just Bucky Irving might be hurt. Mike Evans is questionable. With those pieces missing, I kind of look at it you're not a great team to begin with, I don't feel like right now. And being deficient in those areas, if you've got the Chargers and they're firing on offense, it'll be a rough night for you. And I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think that under 45.5 is where I kind of like that, just because the Chargers don't really score a lot of points, period. And the Bucs are hit or miss whether they do or don't. So in that range, I would say go under 45.5. And I like the Chargers on the money line in this. I think they're going to get it done at home. Even though it's not much of a home field advantage, I think they get it.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Chargers have lost a couple games, close games that they probably should have won or could have won for sure. Yeah, they get this done. Both teams are, like you said, beat up. Herbert should be fine from what I've read. Ladd McConkey almost played last week. They decided to hold him out. He should be good to go. Still banged up, but again, Buccaneers going across the country. I get it's easier to go East Coast to West Coast than vice versa. But the Buccaneers are, I'm not going to say overrated. I mean, their record is what it is. They're a good team. The Chargers have a better defense. And to the coaching, too. Jim Harbaugh is a better coach. So I think the Chargers get this done. I love the under on the 45.5. Because like I said, I don't think either one of these teams are going to light it up because they're both limited with injuries on offense to key players. So low-scoring game, 2017 maybe, but the Chargers get it done.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we'll bust out this next game too.
Yep. All right, so now we're finally into the good games. We had the Bills and Lions game. The Battle of Pennsylvania is up next. 10-3 Steelers, 11-2 Eagles. Man, this is going to be a barn burner. I don't even know where to go in this game. Steelers plus 215, Eagles minus 260. In my opinion, the best bet in this game is the spread. How are the Eagles a minus 5.5 spread when both these teams are very equal? George Pickens is probably going to be out. That changes things, but the Eagles still can't pass the ball. So they can rely on Saquon Barkley to run the ball, and he's been amazing. We know that. But the Steelers have a great defense. So do the Eagles. So this game's going to be really, really close. I can't really decide who I want to pick to win the game. So I'm going to go this. Under 43.5 points is a huge bet, I think. Both teams are going to struggle to score points. And I would bet the Steelers to cover a 5.5 point spread. I don't recall ever seeing two teams that are within one game of each other record-wise, and it's a 5.5 point spread. This game should be a 3 point spread, 2.5, 3.5, either way. So yeah, I love the Steelers to cover the 5.5 point spread. It's gonna be a close game, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers win this game because Brady, what do you always say? Winning streaks. How many games have the Eagles won in a row? 8 or 9, right? It's 8, I think.
9.
9, yeah. 9 games in a row. It's in Philadelphia. Steelers are a solid team. Yeah, I think, man, under 43.5, the Steelers cover 5.5. I'm just questioning, how is this spread 5.5? I don't get that. They're one game apart. The Steelers lead the division, so do the Eagles. So how many times do you see two division leaders this late in the season? One's going on the road and it's a 5.5 point spread. This game's going to be closer than 5.5 for sure. Why is that? Like, enlighten me. I don't see how Vegas is reading this game. Eagles are good. I get that, but so are the Steelers. So I don't see the 5.5 point spread boggles my mind. I don't understand how it's that big. Help me understand that.
It's a little odd. This one is an odd game in a way because I don't even like the over 43. Quite honestly, I don't.
No, I say under for sure. Like,
yeah, no, I am going to pick the Eagles in this one though. Even though, yeah, I understand the whole on a winning streak, but I think the Eagles lose next week. I think next week is their catch-up game. I don't.
Well, no. So yeah, I'm not saying losing. I'm saying Steelers are going to cover that spread. It's going to be a close game. I don't think
the only thing that I can think of is that they don't think the Steelers can score enough to keep up with them. Which,
yeah,
but I don't know. I mean,
so here's my point: is so from the Eagles wise, their passing game has been very discombobulated the last month. They can't figure out what's up or down. I mean, look at what their receivers have done. Hurts is averaging 21 passing attempts the last 4 weeks. He's going to pass that this week, but still, where do the points come from? And how are the Eagles 6 points better than the Steelers are? That's what I don't get. That's what I'm saying. The spread to me is way too far for a team that's 10-3 versus 11-2. You don't ever see a spread that far with teams that are only one game apart in the standings.
Yeah.
Usually it's 2, 3. You might get 4, but not 5.5. That's a lot. So I would hammer the Steelers to cover the 5.5, the 5.5 spread for sure.
I think you're getting a little recency bias. I think because it has to be playing into the fact that the Eagles just beat the Ravens not too long ago on their home turf by 5 points, and I'm pretty sure that they're kind of putting the Steelers below a team like the Ravens right now, especially the way they're playing right now. So
yeah,
I mean, and if you look at the last, I mean, let's be quite honest. Besides that game against the Ravens, they've been crushing teams the last 5 games.
Man, they just barely beat the Panthers last week at home.
I mean,
so
they beat them by 6. They covered this.
Yeah, but the Panthers are 3-10, dude.
Dude, the Panthers, honestly, if you looked back at that game, the Panthers have a lot of strengths where the Eagles have complete weaknesses.
And I'd venture a guess that the Steelers are stronger in those areas, way stronger in those areas than
I actually heard some defensive numbers that you would be absolutely fucking shocked. And the defensive numbers basically put the one of the worst defenses that the Eagles had a time handling, historically handling. It was the Panthers. Panthers are right. They play almost the exact same defensive schemes as the Steelers, and the Panthers are right below the Steelers. So
and the Steelers are better. So explain to me the 5.5 point spread. So if they barely beat the Panthers, who are very similar to the Steelers defensive wise, and the Steelers are better and have better personnel, and
we
better
talk all the
coaching.
time about spreads. They still beat them by 6 points.
6. Yeah. One of the worst teams in the league, they beat by 6. The Steelers are one of the best teams in the league, and it's still 6.
I mean, the Panthers at the beginning of the season, I would 100% agree with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are one of the worst teams in the league. But since then, dude, they've got some of the same records as some of the other shit teams in the league. So I'm not going to say that they are the worst team because they've been playing way better.
For sure.
So,
But
I mean,
the Steelers are way better than they are.
For the Eagles to beat the Panthers right now, the way they're playing by 6 points.
How are the Steelers still like?
What'd you say?
I don't think the Eagles are 6 points better than the Steelers at all. So
Maybe
I would
not.
take the Steelers.
Maybe not. But I also didn't see them beating the Rams 37-20. They were 5 points better than the Ravens. They were 6 points better than the Panthers, who play almost the exact same defensive scheme.
Right.
And I thought it might be difficult for them to get things done in that one, which they just overcame adversity.
Yeah.
And who are you going to take more seriously? I think in some cases, teams really kind of skip in a way and start looking towards the week after and start thinking, okay, look, we're playing the fucking Panthers here, who, guess what? Guess who they're just like? Oh, yeah, the Steelers. We play them next week. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We'll prepare for the Steelers because that's going to be the true contest. It's not the Panthers.
Right.
Panthers we should beat handily. Well, you didn't. It took you a minute, but you still beat them handily by 6 points. So if you're preparing for a week ahead and you're preparing for the more difficult of the two teams, which are playing almost the exact same defensive schemes. So I think this is the team that I think this is actually an easier game for them to get done than it was last week.
Man, but the Steelers have
teams
way better personnel.
Teams do not go to the Eagles and they don't play very well when they go to
but again, Eagles won 9 in a row, man. I love the Steelers. I get it. The Steelers spread. Bet that shit all day.
I'm going to go the exact anomaly. The things that you think are the easiest to hit and should, I don't believe they do. I say go the opposite direction. Steelers lose this game. Eagles win another one. And I think you're safe on the spread. I think they beat them by 6-7 again.
Okay. Interesting.
So I'm going different because the most obvious things that you see, there's always a reason that Vegas has got it planned that way.
That is true.
It never fucking fails. I picked the most easy. I picked the most obvious. Hey, plus 5.5. I don't get it. Yeah, guess what? Nobody else did either. That's why it fucking hit. Because guess who made a phone call? That's right.
Hey, man. Make it happen.
And to some extent, hey, games are scripted.
Right. So we disagree.
I've seen it too many times in the NFL to believe that it doesn't happen. When I directly see a team down there that like does something fucked up with like 15 seconds when you've won the game and you go ahead and kick a fucking field goal to put you at a 7-point marker. Yeah, baby, it's called Vegas making some fucking phone calls.
Right.
The spread was 7.5, people. It's fucking true. The NFL, to a certain extent, is fucking scripted. Get used to the shit. On to the next.
Right.
Next up. This is going to be a better game than I think some of the other ones will. Really. Green Bay Packers 9-4, Seahawks 8-5, plus 120 money line. Seahawks minus 140. Green Bay. The spread set it plus minus 2.5. Over under 45.5. I like the Packers in this one. I think they've been playing too well. They just got beat last week, but they played a competitive game. That was a tough one to win anyway. I know it's division, but But look, I think this boils down to, for me, just a better team. I think there's more pieces for them. I see them not necessarily in the receiving core. I think Metcalf is the best out of all receivers in this game on the Seattle side. But I trust the Packers. For me, it's all about coaching in this one. I think the Packers coaching staff is better. I think he knows what to do in situations better, and I'm not worried about the traveling to Seattle thing. I don't know if anybody's necessarily scared of the 12th man anymore. I don't think it holds the same power. I don't think they're the same team back then. So on this one, for me, I like the Packers. I like that money line, minus 140. I don't think it's out of hand. I think you wait a little bit longer towards when the game starts. You're going to get even better on that if you feel strongly about the Packers. But I think the Packers go on the road. They proved last week that they've got mettle when it comes to going on the road anyway and playing and just keeping it competitive. So I like them in this one. I'm siding Packers on the money line.
Wow. So we're gonna disagree again. I look at this money line, 8-5 Seahawks plus 120. I love the Hawks here. I agree with you that the 12th man is not what it used to be. Totally agree there. But the Seahawks have been winning games recently that I thought they would lose. I mean, we talked about a few weeks ago at home against the Cardinals. Cardinals are playing better. Seahawks won. Last week on the road against the Cardinals, they still won. So to me, I look at this and I see a home team 8-5 and 9-4, both winning teams, but the Seahawks are plus odds at home. The majority of the games in the NFL, the home team wins. It's like 60-40, 55-45. It's in that range. The Packers, I feel, have been getting kind of lucky. And, I mean, they're well coached. I agree with that. Matt LaFleur knows what he's doing. Seahawks are, rolling the rookie coach. I don't know, man. I just think seeing plus 120 and the Seahawks are on a roll, their defense has been legit. I love the Seahawks in this game. I'm going to go Seahawks all the way. 12th man, whatever, at plus 120. Give me some more of that. I think Seahawks win this game. I won't touch the over-under or the spread. I just think the Seahawks win the game outright. So give me the plus 120. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to double down. The Seahawks are 3-4 at home, which means that they're a better road team.
It's true.
The Packers are 4-2 playing on the road.
Yeah.
And that being one of those wins against the Detroit fucking Lions, who are crushing every team they face, especially when you're at home and you play them within 3 points. And you telling me that you can't go to fucking Seattle, who gives up 126 rushing yards a game and 10 touchdowns this season, and over 212 passing yards a game, and 19 touchdowns on top of that. I mean, what do you do better?
I don't know. They they win. They're 8-5 again.
Yeah, you win on the road.
We're not
you win on the road.
Yeah,
you don't win at home.
It means they're due.
I think the same thing about the Packers. You went and you lost a very, very tough played game last week.
True.
I think you come biting back this week. You know you have to win this game. Yeah, I mean, you are deep in the hunt. And the Seahawks, Seahawks will probably win their division, to be quite honest with you. I mean, considering the competition, they can lose this game and still win their division. The Packers, you're not even going to win your fucking division. So you better hang on for dear life. And I think that you're going to play with more urgency in this one. That's why I'm picking them. The Seahawks don't play good at home. The 12th man doesn't even exist anymore. You're a better road team.
But it's you said they're 3-4 at home.
They're 3, yeah.
Okay, so that means they have 2 home games left. They're going to win this one.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You lose this one too. Maybe next
All right.
time. You're not winning against the Packers. All right.
On to the next then.
All right. Here we go. The Chicago Bears, 4-9, taking on the Minnesota Vikings, 11-2. Plus 250 money line for the Bears, minus 300 money line for the Vikings. Plus minus 7 on the spread, over under 43.5. Listen, fuck the Bears. And I say that wholeheartedly. Caleb Williams,
So hold back.
until you prove me wrong, you suck. I said it coming out of college. I don't like your attitude. I said it when I watched you on Hard Knocks. I said you probably were going to suck ass. And to this point, your punter has punted more fucking times than he was supposed to this season, according to you from Hard Knocks. So, Bears, you're in disarray. Get it to fucking together. You can't. Man.
Well, they're never going to.
No.
They never have. They're never going to.
But listen, you're definitely. I'm picking against you in this game more. If you pull out a miracle, you can kiss my ass even more. Seriously, like at this point, I'm definitely rooting against you because you lost me money last week. I hated that.
I hated that.
Me off.
Don't we all?
You were the one piece. You were the one piece.
The one piece.
And you couldn't get it done. So
Right.
Guess who's not picking you this week? I'm going all in the Vikings. In fact, hey guys, put these guys in your parlay because there is no way this shitty Chicago Bears team is going to go to the Vikings and beat them. Yes, I do believe that they are due for a loss. I totally agree with that. I just think that the Bears
Not this week.
are a shitty team and they're not going to be able to get this done. Caleb Williams, you suck. And you fall in line with all the other number 1 picks that are going to suck in life. So, hey, Josh, what do you say?
Well, that was a little
I know I'm on one tonight, man.
little aggressive.
I'm
that.
definitely on one tonight, but I
Agreed.
can't stand these assholes.
Yeah, there's no way the Bears pull this out. I mean, they've gotten lucky to be close to the teams they barely lost to, like the Lions.
Hey, side note, it stopped raining.
Oh, nice, sweet. We need
So
some yards.
maybe we'll get some offense going in this
Yeah,
house.
we need some yards. Let's go for our parlays. Need some receiving yards. So yeah, Bears are terrible. Fired their coach. The Vikings have a lot to play for. They still believe they can win the division, which, I mean, let's be honest, they're only a game behind. And yeah, the Lions already beat them once, so they're technically 1.5, 2 games behind. How you want to score that? Yeah, the Vikings win this game easily. I don't know what the spread, though. The spread's a lot. Division game, we say 7 points is a lot. I don't think the Bears have enough. Really wouldn't touch this game other than saying the Vikings win and parlay that shit, the money line with something else. I can see the Bears covering the spread, but I think the Vikings defense has had some wishy-washy games recently. They're still really good. I can see them hammering the Bears in this game and just blowing them out. So, yeah, Vikings win the game. Don't touch anything else in the game except for the Vikings win.
Yeah, parlay it because the Bears suck.
Right.
And that's pretty much that. That's breakdown.
That's that.
Next one. We're on to the last game. And right now, both these offenses look like they've never played football before in this game. It's very interesting to watch.
Terrible.
But yeah, I'm crying on the inside a little bit because Matthew Stafford isn't going to get close to 182 yards tonight because I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I'm doing the same thing.
Cooper Kupp. Yep, let's don't even talk about that one.
Right. Let's just go to the next game and finish it off and cry later.
Yeah.
Okay, so now on to the last game of the week, the second Monday night game, if you want to call it that. How this game didn't get flexed out of a Monday night schedule, I have no idea. NFL, they flex games out of prime time nowadays. I don't know who missed the 2-11 Raiders hosting the 6-7 Falcons. I get the Falcons still have a chance to win their division, but good night. Who allowed this game to still be played on Monday Night Football? That's unbelievable. There's really not much to say about this game. You're going to have Desmond Ridder quarterbacking the Raiders and Kirk Cousins quarterbacking the Falcons. I mean, Cousins is theoretically the better quarterback. Don't know for sure because he looks like shit the last 4 or 5 weeks. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole. The Falcons should win the game. I would be willing to put money on that. Not a lot. Minus 210 money line. I don't know. Put it on that. Fuck. This game is going to be terrible for a Monday night game. It's the second Monday night game of the night. So it's going to be the late game. So it's the last game of week 15. Good Lord. Why do they not change this game out to something better? That's all I can say. I don't want to touch anything in this game betting-wise at all. It's terrible. It's horrible. I mean, put parlays in for sure. Player props, cool. Yeah, do that shit all day long. But outside of that, no, don't touch anything else in this game. Good night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Falcons on this.
I will too, for sure.
Both teams are definitely due for a win, but I mean, the Falcons.
Dude, it's Desmond Ridder for the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a Desmond Ridder revenge game?
I think Falcons money line is a pretty good bet on this one.
I like that too.
I would do Falcons money line and parlay that one. I feel pretty confident that hits, but
that's it.
Kirk Cousins should be able to get a win here for the Falcons. I don't see him.
Good Lord, one would think
it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad game, but sometimes bad games are fun to watch.
Hey man, bad football is better than no football.
It could be one of those games that's fun to watch because Cousins could come out bombing and he could have a great game, and you're kind of like, oh, Kirk Cousins is good, but then
Kirk Cousins, no, he's really not.
I mean, no, but he could look really good in this game. I think this is a winnable game for him, and I think they get it done here. I think you're good to parlay this one too. So this would be one that, hey, put it with the Commanders. Feel pretty confident that they both get this done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with
that wouldn't be that bad, honestly. I think that would probably get you plus money. So yeah, do that. Do that.
I agree with that. Not a bad idea. I'm just watching.
Throw the. I just because it usually seems to backfire on you when you throw 3 pieces in, but hey, Vikings, get it done.
Get it done. Get her done.
Anybody can against these.
Get her done.
These Cubs.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know 2 teams in Chicago had the same moniker, but hey.
Right. Bears, Cubs.
Maybe we'll call them Bears Light.
Yeah.
Sun Bears. Chicago Sun Bears.
Something. Good Lord.
Or Sloths.
I don't know. Something like that. But
all right, people, it stopped raining, and but hey, guess what? The quarterbacks still suck right now, so guess nobody's gonna pass the fucking ball tonight. No reason to when it's a punting fucking contest.
Right.
Good job, guys. I'm excited that I get to watch this 3-3 contest of field goal kickers.
With 9 punts already.
Yeah. So the San Francisco 49ers versus the St. Louis or the Los Angeles Rams in a kicking contest so far. So enjoy the kicking contest.
Good
Hope
Lord.
that maybe the quarterbacks act like they've played in wet conditions before and start tossing
or have thrown a football
a little bit.
Yeah, or have thrown a football at some point in their life.
But man, all right, I'm going to try and not be on one next time we do one of these. But hey, thanks for sitting with me. Enjoyed it. And we will see you again next time. Until then, keep balling.
See ya.
Peace.